Hi, I'm Lisa Sprinkle with Elevate Partners, a DHR international company. As we help organizations identify and develop future-ready leaders, we've launched a series to interview industry experts and hear firsthand how they're accelerating digital transformation and developing leaders within their own organizations. John Walsh is Accenture's Chief Strategic Accounts and Global Sales Officer. Specializing in the communications and high-tech industries, he has led digital transformation programs for some of the company's largest clients, helping to increase their operational efficiency and drive growth. He is a member of Accenture's Global Management Committee and also serves as a director on several Silicon Valley boards. Welcome, John, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for having me.
So digital transformation has really accelerated and become a priority for organizations. However, many of these companies are really at the beginning of accelerating their processes. Accenture was well ahead of the curve, building digital capabilities years ago. Can you share with us what led to that decision?
So, if you think about sort of Accenture's journey, we really started our digital journey sort of seriously in about 2013. And I guess if you think about it, it goes back to the last, big shock that we had, which was the financial crisis. And at about that 2013 timeline, we recognized that, the companies that were really winning and succeeding in the market in that time were companies that we thought about like digital natives, that they had embraced a new set of technologies in order to the way they interact with customers, the way they interact with, their employees, their suppliers, and that those kinds of capabilities were going to become increasingly essential for all companies. And so in 2013, we moved about 30,000 Accenture folks into an Accenture digital organization and really began kind of the journey of building a capability to serve ourselves as well as serve our clients, and then you fast forward to, sort of what we've experienced now with the pandemic, it's really put yet another sort of accelerant on, I guess, everybody's collective digital journey. In some ways, this pandemic is really forced, kind of the largest and the fastest allocation of labor since World War II, moving us all into a remote work from home kind of an environment, something that, would have been really unprecedented just, a month or two before the pandemic, is something that all of us collectively navigated, once we were in the middle of that.
So what are some of the intended or even unintended consequences of this move to the digital strategy?
As we started to acquire more digital capabilities, we changed also the way that we consult and serve clients. We started to move much more into more creative processes, more design thinking kinds of sessions, right? It changed the conversation and the way that we actually collaborated and worked with our clients. It made our whole culture more innovative than it had been in the past. I think it put us much more sort of on the front foot to work with our clients as they thought about how do they drive growth, how do they innovate, how do they change. I think us having brought in so many of those capabilities into our own company, we're in a better position to have those dialogues and conversations with our clients.
Yeah, the innovation is a key point, and it's in a sense you already went through what you're asking your clients to go through as well. So you've seen the whole life cycle and the change management approach to it too.
For sure. If you just, like I had mentioned earlier, Accenture is a big company, and just the process that we went through to reskill our workforce, who a lot of our sort of our technology and engineering talent, had been very successful for a long period of time, but focusing on technologies that had sort of got through the last generation, getting them to a position where they're actually able to use modern engineering, kind of DevOps, AI, building, sort of reskilling the employees that we had in order to be able to actually take that next leg of the journey, was something that, we worked through over the course of the past 4 to 5 years. It's always been a hallmark in the way that the company works. One of the reasons why you join Accenture is because you're going to get sort of a very committed sort of education track, along with the work that you do for clients to continue to build those skills. That was a huge undertaking on our part, and it really did help kind of position, us to be able to better serve our clients as we move into the future.
Yeah, and if Accenture is reskilling, what does that indicate for
You've
what?
got to. Everybody's got to. Yeah, I mean, the pace of change is so quick that if you're not investing, in yourself and your leaders and the rest of your team kind of stay on the front edge of that curve, then you're almost by definition going to fall behind.
What advice would you give other leaders as they really start to reevaluate their investments and reevaluate their digital strategy?
I'll think about a couple of things. I mean, I think it's easy to focus on the technology and bringing in and developing the skills that you need to be able to sort of compete and operate at that next level. And I don't think there's any question about that being critical. I think the other dimension that I think is critical, particularly in this current environment, is that we've been saying this, is that, and we think about it in our own context as well, is that like every company has kind of become a health company at the same time. And so, in order, to be able to continue to perform at a high level, you need to kind of balance all those great technical skills, with being able to actually manage kind of the health and well-being of your employee base, as well as your customers, in the current environment. And being much more conscientious about kind of creating an environment where, it's kind of safe, healthy first, right? So that you can do everything that you need to do. And I think that's every company's responsibility. And it's a critical part of kind of the world that we're in, right now. I think the other thing that I've been thinking about a lot, for our company and then in the context of our clients, is that, ecosystem relationships are more important than they ever have been in the past. It is just as quick as sort of the technology curves have evolved, and as quick as we're sort of moving through into this new era. Like, I don't think it goes back to normal. It becomes sort of the new era of the way business operates. It seems to me that being able to operate as a part of the ecosystem, kind of blending what you're good at and your expertise with what partners, and suppliers are going to be able to provide to you in order to kind of create your value proposition and serve clients, is going to be more important than it ever has been in the past. And I think being highly digital, again, facilitates that connectivity. And I think that's kind of that full circle journey in the world that we're moving toward.
Well, definitely an exciting time to be in the digital space and just to see what innovations are next and what companies are doing. So, John, really thank you for sharing your thoughts on digital transformation and really how Accenture has truly been a leader in guiding organizations through the process. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
I appreciate it.
All right. See you soon.
Take care.